What's up, people? Welcome to the Health is Wealth podcast. Today's episode is all about the beautiful people with Kaye Cox.
The beautiful people with Kaye motherfucking Cox.
What's up, people? Welcome to the Health is Wealth podcast. I'm your host, Jason Shively, and today, like I said, I have a special guest with me, international model Kaye Cox, from around the world to the Health is Wealth podcast. Finally, Kaye, thanks for being here, girl.
Thank you for having me, Jason, even though I can't stand you.
I know. No one can stand me, but if there was going to be a beautiful people episode, besides me, Kaye's the one that had to be here. I mean, look at this. It's like
Ebony and Ivory,
vanilla and chocolate,
swirl,
rice and black beans.
What?
It's just healthy. I'm thinking healthy stuff.
Rice and black beans.
Something like that. Okay, so you're here because we want to talk about beautiful people and the pressure that models might be under and stuff. And first, we're going to start about you and where the heck you're from. And so let's talk about Kaye. That's their favorite subject anyways.
Yes, it is.
So, Kaye, you're from Connecticut.
Yes.
And you have a Jamaican background?
I do. I was born and raised in Connecticut. My father is from St. Andrews Parish, Jamaica. Most people say just because I was born in the States that I'm not Jamaican, but you can't stop what's going through my DNA.
No, we've known each other through a gym that we used to work at together for we've known each other, 5 years now, I say 4 or 5 years.
Actually, no, Jason. I need you to get your timelines right. We met in 2018.
2018?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
March 2018.
You were at the gym less than a year?
No, a little bit. It was probably like a year and 2 months.
Man.
And I left because we could get into all of that.
Yeah, we'll get into all that stuff later. But I know you have a strong Jamaican roots because when I got sick one time, you brought in the Jamaican soup and saved my life one day.
I brought you fish tea. and I put hot pepper sauce in it.
And it saved my life. I'm telling you. I want that now.
Everybody needs a Jamaican friend in their life.
Yeah, with the sauce. You have to bring the sauce, Kaye sauce.
Speaking of sauce, that's how you got the name J Sauce.
Yeah, and why exactly do you call me J Sauce?
Because you just walked in the gym one day and you had this sauce about you, it was just like something different than the regular white boy.
It was
that
beautiful people sauce.
It's the beautiful people sauce.
That was when I had the long hair too. I had the long hair.
You couldn't tell you nothing.
Yeah, right. Nothing. It was all about the sauce. So what I love about you is you're always energy. You're always positive. Good vibes is what Edie always talks to you. There's nothing but it. Even when you're dragging and you just came from 2 shoots in a row, 1 hour of sleep, cat kicked out of the bed, jumped in the Mustang and got to work, and still positive vibes no matter what. And that's what we all love about you.
Well, positivity in health is super important because if you don't have positive energy, nothing else works.
Yeah.
If you're sick and you have negative energy, how does that affect your health? It makes you more laggy. It makes you more sucky as a human.
No, yeah, that's why they say train the body and the mind and stuff, and the mind then the body.
I'm all about the positive vibes.
Always.
If you don't have positive vibes around me, you have to go.
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
get
matter.
the boot.
I've seen you come right off a plane and right to work and still.
Do you know that's actually how I interviewed at the gym. I was literally straight off the plane from LA.
I remember that day too. You were so serious in the seat. Now I know you were just sleepy.
No, you know what? Really, really and truly, I was just like observing the energy in the place, because if it was a place with shitty energy, then I just wasn't going to work there.
Yeah. No, you brought the energy up there. That's 100%. And we all missed you when you had to go off and take more opportunities for the modeling. So, but let's talk a little bit more about your background. So you grew up in Connecticut, right? Your dad was born in Jamaica, and you were born in the States.
Connecticut, yeah.
In Connecticut,
yeah,
and stuff. And then where does the modeling start to take over?
Modeling started to take over my life when I started to watch America's Next Top Model, and I would watch it over and over and over again, and I would be like, "Ma, you know what? I could do that. Ma, I could do that. And she'd be like, okay, okay. And then one day I just decided that that's what I wanted to do. And I started doing it. I started going full force. Like it was locally when I moved to Florida. And then, maybe after a couple of photo shoots and a couple of shows, I started to branch off on my own. I was working with a group called Design Nation, and after about like maybe a couple of shows, maybe a few months, 6 months with them, I started to branch out to different groups of people, people who are full force in the industry. And I was doing it without an agency. I was doing it without representation. And I started to kick down doors like, if you tell me no, I don't care. No means next opportunity. Next.
Did you ever get told no right away?
Hell yeah.
Was it just because of lack of experience or a look that wasn't there yet? Because we talked about that off camera a few days ago, and we're going to get into that too. But was there any of that at the beginning? What was the struggles at the beginning as a model?
Truth be told, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you and 100% honest with myself.
Okay.
I was not ready.
Okay.
I had all of the confidence in the world, but I was not ready. I didn't I looked the part to people, but I didn't look the part. I wasn't the part. I was not.
The sauce wasn't there yet?
Listen, I had too much sauce.
You had too much sauce?
It was too much sauce, too much seasonings on this creature called Kaye Cox. It was just too much. And over the years, I had to figure out how to dial it down, how to balance it out, how to make it work so that way I can get booked as a model. You know what I mean?
So but now you educate other models. I know you do runway shows, you help new models walk, you help them for photo shoots, to find those different looks that they're looking at. I mean, I only need one look for me to take a photo, but we're not talking about me. This is about Kaye Cox. Okay, it's about the beautiful people.
The beautiful people of the
world,
Jason.
So when you first started out, where the struggles were, there was too much sauce, there was too much energy some places, not enough energy in other places, but you were still able to knock down doors, you said.
Yeah.
Just to get in the door, just to get a foot out there, right?
Yeah.
So what was it? Where was the breaking point? Did you have to get an agent eventually? Do you have an agent now?
I'm independent.
Yeah. Do you prefer it that way?
Yes and no. Yes, because when I get paid, I get paid. I don't have to share my money with anybody. No. But to get bigger opportunities and to have a bigger network, a bigger outreach, it's very important to have an agency.
So what made that decision for you to just do it? Because you knew you're already knocking down doors? To stay independent? Was it just the money, or was it the fact that you were already doing all the hard work anyways?
It was the fact that I was already doing the hard work anyways. And like just from meeting the people that I had already met, everybody in this industry is like always trying to go forward. So just keeping the right network and keeping the right communication with people, whenever they would take a step forward, they would always think like, oh, I know somebody who's like perfect for this. I got Kaye Cox. And then I just started to just ride that wave, and I became the Kaye Cox way. And when the Kaye Cox way was born, it was like, that's it.
That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
Then everyone accepted the sauce.
Yeah, everybody accepted the sauce. And what's funny is when I was looking for an agency, everybody was like, no, sorry, we have your look already. Oh, I'm sorry, you're too short. Oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, dog, you have 2 black girls on your roster. She doesn't look like me. What are we talking about here? But then it was like, I really kind of sort of got sick of that.
So, okay. So we talked about that, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And we're diving into that right now, because what look was it? Was it the black that they had one, so they didn't want anyone else? There wasn't anyone that they didn't have skinny? It was too early for thick or skinny? It was tall or short? What was the deal? Say it. Okay. Say the sauce.
Okay. So before I was educated about it, I thought it was just the agencies. It is the agencies, yes, but a lot of the times is the clients. The clients want a certain thing. They want a certain look. So of course you have to give the clients what they want. I understand that. But before that, it was more so like I thought the agencies just didn't want me. I thought it was, and I was turned down by like maybe 4 or 5 agencies in one day. And now I went home and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And it was the worst feeling ever. But that's when I started to realize like that no meant next opportunity. Just keep pushing. Just keep swimming.
So we're talking when? In what 2000s?
15.
2015. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've been full-time modeling since then? Mm-hmm. So how long does a modeling career usually last? Is it individual? Is it individual if you age well? What is it? It's
a combination of things, It's hold on. Okay, yeah. It's a combination of things. It's a combination of how dedicated you are to your career, because I see models who are old as balls and they're still working. They're on runways and they're on covers and they're on covers of big magazines and they're working with big clients and things like that. So it's at this point, because of the new inclusivity factor of modeling, your career, it lasts as long as you push for it.
Okay, but things have changed now with what we went through, the We movement recently. Black Lives Matter now is important. The COVID thing is now a thing. I know you've done some shoots recently where you're wearing masks, right? Now that you can actually be on sets again, you're actually wearing masks for the photos themselves or the video shoots, right?
Yeah.
So, but I feel like there's a lot of stepping stones for you specifically that weren't there in 2015 that are now from 2016 on that are now, okay, people want more women because the We movement, now because Black Lives Matter all of a sudden to everyone, that matters. Now they want more people in a variety of groups because you're doing a lot more group photos too, not just individuals.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then there's the international aspect of things where you do have a special look where you're not looking like Connecticut. Like, I look like I should be from Connecticut.
No,
not
you
just
look
Ohio.
you look like from Ohio with all of the cornfields.
Yeah, but a beautiful.
Yes,
don't
beautiful.
forget it. Beautiful Ohio. Yeah. So, but do you tap into that because you see now that you've been turned down so many times through agencies, but you also understand where the world is right now for modeling and what people want their image to be, and that benefits you right now? Because I feel like it should.
It's a really big benefit. It's really beneficial for me. Yeah. Because I know what it's like to be told no. I know how it feels to be told no, and now that I have an opportunity to capitalize off of the inclusivity, like hell yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah. So then you're not traveling that much right now, right?
Right now, no. Only because of COVID.
Yeah. And how far out do they typically book outside of the COVID issue? How far do photos book out for you guys? Is it weeks, days, months, years? I'm getting out years. I'm assuming not years.
No, it's not years, but
it's days and weeks, right?
it's really all dependent on the client. It's really all dependent on how far out they have things scheduled. So it's really contingent upon clients.
Okay.
And or photographers.
All right. So the one big question that I want to ask you is
what, Jason?
Was it health?
Wait, hold on. Is this a question that's okay for viewers and listeners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I have to ask.
Yes. That. Mom will appreciate this.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, Mom. Appreciate that. So Kay's mom's going to listen too, so no worries. So, and everyone else in between. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Okay. What's the question?
Okay. Did modeling push towards your health goals, or did health help you get to your modeling goals? Because you weren't no spring chicken when you first started modeling. You just admitted that to everyone.
Suck balls, Jason.
Meatballs, that is. Meatballs that are turkey and
that's healthy.
Non-sodium sauce.
I will say this. I have always been a pretty athletic a pretty athletic individual, but when it came down to what I was putting in my body before I started modeling, I wasn't really I was just eating everything.
Okay.
But it was my health started to be important when I got into the gym life. So it was after modeling that my health was important. I mean, as far as looking the part, I didn't have to physically, I didn't have to do anything to look the part for modeling because I've always been slim. I've always been fit because of my history in sports. So I didn't have to do much for that part. But when it came down to what I was ingesting and how it was affecting myself, like in 2017, I was probably like 110 pounds. So I was very small. It was like Bevo Lottie got more head than she got body. Like it was crazy.
And you're tall, but you're sitting on a cushion right now to help you raise up. So
yeah, because in real life, I am like vertically challenged, but it's okay because it's all about creating the illusion. Jason.
Always. That's why we're the equal height when we're sitting on our butts, because there's a cushion underneath you, which helps. Yeah. So okay, you were athletic. So what sports did you play growing up?
Oh, I played ball. I started jumping double dutch professionally when I was 9.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's nice.
It was competitions all over the place. You had your state competition, then you had your world competition where people from France and Spain and Japan would come out. It was really cool. So I started doing that, and then I started playing basketball when I was 9. Did that all throughout my my teenage years. And
double dutch too? All through the teen?
No. Well, double dutch is actually like, it's a sport that you learn when you're young.
No,
as soon as you can start walking.
Yeah.
But it wasn't professional until I was like 9, and I did it from 9 to 11.
Okay.
And then I played basketball up until I was like 17. But I ran track from 13 to 19, so it was like I was always doing something. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But did that have to affect, because you said now it seems like you're focused more on what you put in your body, not actually what you're doing with your body, more so because you said you naturally have that look that you're trying to get out there. So you're focused more on what you're putting in your body, not actually what you're doing. So you're not playing basketball and stuff like that. Is that and I think you brought this up when we used to work together. Is that an issue for you? Looking athletic sometimes, too athletic for shoots? Is that an issue? I know it's a real issue for models. It's
an issue, but I have never had a person or a client or a photographer complain about how muscular I was or how fit I looked.
But that's a real thing for models, right?
It is.
Some just naturally have more defined shoulders and look too muscular in a photo.
Yeah, and then you have different areas of modeling. So if you're extremely high fashion, where you're like 6 feet tall, and you have to be like 115 pounds. If you have a little bit too much muscle, they may or may not. It's just really everything. How a person looks is really all dependent on the client and what they're looking for at that time.
Okay, so how do you direct what shoot you're going for? What is it? What area of modeling are you mainly focused in? Like you're looking for and always chasing?
I'm chasing my money.
You're chasing your money. Yes. So give her a cracker, give her a kettlebell, she'll do it all.
A cracker. Yeah. I got one.
A photo? No. I'm the cracker. I'm the cracker right now. I'm the cracker with the sauce. With the sauce. No, I'm talking about a photo where you're eating a cracker, and then the next day you're doing a kettlebell swing.
You know what? I had an audition where I had to pretend like I was biting into this juicy chicken sandwich.
So that's the messed up part. You're supposed to eat it.
Remember, I don't eat chicken, but I was pretending that I was biting into this juicy chicken sandwich, and the prop that they gave us for the chicken sandwich was a freaking what are the crackers? A saltine. It was a freaking saltine, and they gave us 2 saltines together with no water, and we had to pretend like this was the most delicious
so you didn't even get the sandwich?
No,
you didn't even get the sandwich?
It was a cracker.
That's a fake sandwich they put in
there? It was a fucking cracker.
They don't even give you the real sandwich on the photo shoot?
No.
That's messed up.
It was an audition. I was auditioning for the job to eat the actual sandwich.
They can't afford a real sandwich to audition on? Next time, I'm doing some photo shoots here, and we're going to get some real sandwiches to practice on.
Jason, but do you know how many motherfuckers they would have to buy chicken sandwiches for?
Well, maybe they're in the wrong business. Maybe they get out of the chicken sandwich business.
Wait, how did we even get on this topic of crackers and sandwiches?
Because it was more on how you eat,
okay.
Because it's not necessarily, you're not in the gym so much as in doing lunges, squats, deadlifts to keep your legs in tone. It's more about the proper nutrition to maintain the look that you're trying to put out there.
Yeah, so Eating properly helps with the look, especially when you're not physically active, like because COVID happened. We weren't able to go to the gyms as much and stuff. I mean, we could have worked out outside, but it's just something about the energy of being in the gym, the motivation. So what I eat is for the physical, but really and truly is really for longevity. Is really for health and long life, because if your body's like a car. If you're not maintaining your car, if you're not giving your car the proper oil change, if you're not tuning your car up, your car's gonna conk out on you. And this is for car lovers. You understand? This is your car.
I love that you said that, because you haven't listened to any of our podcasts yet, Kay. And we just launched a couple weeks ago the car analogy versus the human body analogy. So I'm glad that you're sharing that with everyone else in the audience that's already listened to this. And for Kay's audience that's actually listening to this for the first time, check out that episode. Kay's absolutely right. You treat your body like your car and your car like your body. You're not going to put ice cream in your gas tank.
I mean, sometimes I put ice cream in my
sometimes,
gas tank.
But if you do that sometimes with the Mustang that you have out there, you're not going to get very far.
Well, my Mustang, I treat my Mustang pretty nice.
Yeah, but but on a true statement, you do with your body as well. You're taking a couple bites. You're not eating a whole pint.
No.
I mean, you gotta.
I do eat a lot of candy.
Yeah, this is the health podcast.
I know, but sometimes you need a little bit of candy. Jason.
Yes,
but it's okay to have candy when you are eating your salads, when you're eating your greens, and when you're juicing, and when you're eating your proteins, your fish, your eggs, your avocados, your almonds, and things like that. It's okay to have a little bit of candy.
No, absolutely. Bobby, the co-host of the show, is a big opponent of having balance. Having balance in life, enjoying something on the weekend, but right back on track during the week.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so we know that you focus on your health and what you put on, especially with this pandemic. Mm-hmm. You're focused more on health because you can't get to the gyms. Mm-hmm. But what do you typically do when you do go to the gym? As a model, trying to stay in shape.
Like
are you cardio? Or you
or no?
What's your exercising? Are you cardio? Is it weights?
It's a combination of things. When COVID happened, I started to walk and run. I've been very limited over the years because I did a fashion show and I slipped on the runway and I messed up my knee.
Oh.
So I couldn't really run. I'm a runner. I couldn't really run like I wanted to and things like that. But I started to speed walk, and I would speed walk for like 5 miles every day. And then I started to jog 5 miles every day. Then I started to walk 5 miles every day. So I was doing that. And then when I do go to the gym, I'm on the treadmill. I'm on the Stairmaster. I hate the elliptical. I hate that thing. I won't touch it. But I do lift weights. I like the machines. I like the machines more than the actual free weights because it's just I can focus more on my form.
Yep. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you get a control. I know that about you. You like the control movements and just move on to the next thing. There's no thinking process. Am I going to hurt myself? And because of what you do for a career, you can't afford to have a bad back and miss 2 shoots. That's
right, because
livelihood.
Because the way they want you to pose sometimes they want you to just stand there like a mannequin, and then sometimes they want you to be like all contrived and all like balled up and crap.
You're contrived, period. So it should be no problem. So there's another fun part that I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I've watched Top Model over the years, back in the day when it was actually fun to watch. They make them. What's her name? That was the host. Tyra.
Yes.
Tyra always used to get on those girls that couldn't hold a pose, like when they had to be underwater and keep the lips puckered up, or you're sitting on literally ice cubes with butt cheeks. And then you have to act like you're. And she said, "Stay warm." What do you mean? I'm freezing right now. Stay warm. You have to act like you're warm.
On ice.
Yeah, your butt cheeks are on ice, and you have to smile like it's on fire. And that's how important is that to actually keeping gigs and stuff when you're in a couple, because we're in South Florida. We see people going to the jetty and on the rocks taking photo shoots on. If you've ever even put a barefoot on those rocks, they're not comfortable to stand on and not lay on in a little bikini, which I was just doing last week in my yellow bikini.
I have. Oh my gosh! I don't need the visual. I can't unsee it. Jason, stop.
Just beautiful people. That's all.
Okay, so I have done just about everything that you just named. I have done underwater shoots where I had to be underwater. I had to hold my breath. I had to hold the pose.
With your eyes open.
With my eyes open, yeah. The first photo shoot, shouts out to Sean Simpson. The first photo shoot that I did with Sean, I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't open my eyes underwater. It was the most difficult thing, and it was like, and he said one day he was just like, I think maybe it was the second shoot, which was a year later. He said, "Kay, just open your eyes, bro." So I did, and it was still like, but I did it, and then
they got the shot. No.
The year after we did it, we did the shoot, and the shoot came out so beautiful. It was so amazing. It was so good to the point where it was an art exhibit during art. It was an art exhibit in Art Basel.
Oh wow, yeah, nice.
An Art Basel and Raw Miami. So yeah.
So
Art Basel twice and Raw Miami. Okay,
oh wow.
Yeah.
The same photos.
It was the same set.
Oh nice.
Yeah, it was the same set.
Nice. What
people
else?
Loved it.
What else have you done?
The rocks.
Yeah.
To lay on a bed of rocks like it is a California king Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah, that's. I'm like,
it's difficult to have rocks digging in your side, puncturing your butt cheek, and then you still have to make this face like. You still have to hold the face.
I have to be beautiful right now, even though there's a crab crawling on me.
I did a photo shoot in New York. It was 20 degrees outside. Angela Clark, shouts out to you too. It was 22 degrees outside, and I had on this sheer dress, no brassiere. It was beautiful and flowy, but it was 20 degrees outside. Jason.
And what'd they tell you?
Jason, I have no body fat. Do you know how difficult it was? How difficult it was for me, to be out there.
I'm giving you models. I'm giving you and all the other models a lot of credit for putting on the game face to get the shot.
But that's how you get called back, because people remember you for
that's what
for
Tyler
being,
said.
Yeah, people remember you for having the tenacity and having the drive to push through such uncomfortable situations and do it with grace and still be excited about your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and how often do you run across on shoots over the years where there's not the professional models? Often?
No.
Or at your level, they're usually pretty organized and been through it.
They're pretty organized. I remember one job I had. It was for a music video for Wale, and I submitted my photos. I wasn't chosen initially. And the day of the shoot, I got the call and they were like, "Kay, you need to go to Miami because you just got booked." And out the emotion that I had, I felt like, okay, so the original girl that you guys had walked off the set, and now you want to call me. I don't want to be the second choice.
Yeah.
So I debated with myself about it. And when I went, I was actually like in the video a bajillion times. It was like, okay, that was a really good choice. But some models they won't do some things, and then some models they will. So what happened was I had to be painted gold from head to toe. I'm talking about I was scrubbing paint out of places that it shouldn't have been gold paint.
All the sauce areas.
Yes, the video was beautiful. It was artistic. It was amazing. Yeah. But I believe the model who booked the job, she was a pageant girl, and she just didn't want to compromise her crown. So sometimes you do have to put your priorities, put your eggs in order, and say, hey, okay, I can't do this because I could mess up a potential opportunity in the future.
But you know that too as well, right? Even though you might have a longer list of things you're willing to do, you still have things that, okay, that's
I'm
my
just
cutoff.
not doing that.
Whether it's a travel destination or actual things in a video or a photo shoot.
As long as I'm comfortable, I'm okay. If somebody makes me uncomfortable, then because I'm independent, I can control myself. I can control my surroundings a little bit more.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone should be independent nowadays as a model if they're the go-getter type, right? Is that what it is? A lot of times for models that end up getting agents, they have a look and they've been told they have a look, but they're not the go-getters to find the work for themselves. They need someone to help. or they just can't get to work? What is it?
No, it's I'm independent because I was kind of forced to be independent because so many people told me no. Some people, the people who have agents and agencies, it's a beautiful thing to have an agency because you have a bigger pond to play. It's like I have a little pond in the backyard to play with, being independent, and I have to hustle and bustle to get to the open sea. Whereas a model with an agency, they have the open sea.
Oh, yeah. But you've been around the world even through this, right? Where have you been?
Okay, so I modeled in Cuba. Cuba was amazing, bro. Cuba
That was
amazing.
recent. That was recent,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I modeled in Cuba. I went to Jamaica, and I've modeled in Italy.
Yeah. Well, there's some top spots for any model that they want that on their list.
Italy, definitely Italy. A lot of people they haven't really ventured to Cuba. Jamaica is a destination place because they have the beautiful beaches, they have the beautiful resorts, the people, the culture, and people want to incorporate the culture with the modeling in their shoots and what their campaigns and stuff. But yeah, Italy is definitely like the one.
The one.
Yeah.
And does that help when you're casting for other stuff that you've been through Italy? Does that help you any? Because I know you went up to New York ways back too recently for some shoots.
Yeah, when you're able to have a certain place or a certain name tacked onto yours, it definitely helps boost your career a lot more, depending on who it is.
Yeah. So what else, Kay? We got we talked about your health. You and your cousin have been on your social media sharing people juicing recently through this pandemic. I think that's one thing you were trying to talk. We didn't go in detail that you guys were getting. I think you guys were juicing everything that day that I saw the video.
Juicing everything in sight with Kay and Kiko. Yeah, we were juicing every piece of fruit and vegetables and peanuts, walnuts, whatever we could get our hands on. We were trying to squeeze some juice out of it, and the juice, it's like a healthy, powerful energy shot, a healthy energy drink. Like after I drank my juice, it was like I had all of the vitamins and nutrients that I needed.
Now, were you picky on the juices you put together? Because
No.
I've done that before. I've had a juicer over the years before and just juiced everything, and the juicing is awesome. It's a process to clean up. It can be.
Yes.
But if you get crazy and lazy a little bit and start dumping everything in there that you got, some citrus, some berries, some ginger and stuff.
Oh, we put every damn thing in there.
Some greens.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff can it can get you. But man, do you get a little energy boost from that stuff?
Everything we had on that table, we juiced it.
Yeah. The one trick I learned a long time ago was apple. If you
Apple,
add apple
gets the most juice out of everything.
Apple helps get.
Kale is the worst. You don't get anything out of
I
kale.
don't mind kale juiced. I don't mind it juiced. Now,
It's
I'd
good.
rather eat it juiced than on a salad.
See, it tastes good. You just have to juice like 17 bags of kale in order to get a decent amount of juice.
It's about
the only thing I don't like to juice, beets.
Oh, see, I grew up on beets, so I can eat beets all damn day.
Beets are disgusting.
That's why I'm beautiful.
That's why you're more beautiful than me because
I never
you
said
ate your
that.
beets.
I never said
I
that.
said it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh my
Flip
God.
your hair, Jason. Flip it.
Flip it. It's beautiful people episode. This is a chance for everyone to go on the YouTube channel that's only listening to audio because this is beautiful magic happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about in the modeling career? The runways. You're a runway coach as well.
Yes, I'm a runway
when I
coach.
first met you, you were going really hard with that stuff.
Yes.
I think a few things were at the W in Hilton here in Fort Lauderdale that you were
Yeah.
coaching a lot. So how important is the runway for a model? How difficult is it to learn the catwalk? I mean, that's easy for me, but I mean, it's just one look, spin, go. As long as that tush is shaking on the way back.
Okay, so runway is super important to me. It's super important for modeling, but it's also super important for life. I've had a couple of people that I coached who appreciated the runway coaching just for confidence purposes, just for walking in the room and being able to project a certain amount of energy just from having runway coaching classes with me. I have a model named Zariah. She's a 13-year-old model. She just turned 14. Happy belated birthday. She just turned 14, and we had about maybe 6 grueling sessions of runway. Like, it was intense. And I'm like, okay, stop, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. It's like, you have to be able to put your feet the right way whenever you do a half turn and a full turn. And whenever you get to the end of the runway, you have, your X amount of seconds to be at the end of the runway. And we would do that for about an hour. Her sessions were an hour, but I ran over like maybe 20 or 30 minutes for every session, because that's just, I'm into it so much. But at the end of her sessions with me, she had to cast for a fashion week. And I said, your job is to at least book 3 designers. So she booked one, and she was like, she was excited. She's like, it's my first big fashion show. But the day of the show, a couple of designers pulled her and said, I think she was practicing her walk, like, in the fitting room, in the fitting area backstage. And the designer said, we want you. So one designer, she ended up opening for one of the designers, and opening for a designer is a huge thing in the model world.
Is it the beginning and the last one? Are those the 2 spots you want? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To open and to close a show.
Those are all my Victoria's Secret one-way days on Christmas Eve or whatever day that was.
It's in November.
It's Thanksgiving. It's always It's like Thanksgiving weekend. Trust me, I watched that from 14 all the way to 38 years old. I've watched that until they stopped doing it.
See, you know your stuff, Jason. How do you know that they stopped?
I'm just observing and learning and how to build confidence in people.
Yeah.
On the runway.
Being able to have a
or being very creepy, staring at hot chicks all day.
Staring at ass. No, having that confidence is super important. So wait, no, let me finish my story.
Yeah.
So she booked these 3 designers, and I was so happy for her, because it kind of goes back to the energy thing. You have to project a certain kind of energy and a certain amount of energy to draw people into you, to make people want to see you, to know you, to work with you. And that's how she ended up booking those designers at the last minute. So runway coaching for me is super important, because it affects your person, it affects your character, it affects your energy. And it's super important, and it's important to book jobs with clients, because if you walk like a newborn baby deer, then you're not gonna book it.
Like Bambi?
If you walking like
Bambi,
if you walking like a fawn,
don't make fun of Bambi.
You're not. No, Bambi is okay. It's the humans that walk like Bambi. That's a problem. You cannot walk like Bambi. No,
that won't work on the runway.
You can't walk like Bambi. You can't walk like a Clydesdale horse. You can't walk with the booty duck tooch. You can't do none of that. We going through the whole zoo here.
Yeah,
you can't
the whole
walk like that.
Zoo. Hippos are okay though. Hippos, that tush just back and forth. Not the size of a hippo. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But
giraffes are okay.
Giraffes?
Yes.
Just that.
Giraffes are long and graceful.
But their head moves forward. So you want their head moving forward down the walkway?
Well, you have to control. That's where your humanness kicks in, Jason. You have to control that.
You have to control that.
Yeah.
But you ever seen a giraffe?
Yeah.
Their head's going forward.
Oh my God, Jason. What's the next question?
Okay, the next question is when do I get to be on a runway? No, but honestly,
never
with my clothes on. Never with my clothes on. Only
never
birthday
with them
suit.
Off either.
Only birthday suit runways for Jason. So, but no. On a serious note, where's the confidence thing go with the runway? Because that's a new thing for me. For what you're saying, building confidence. I feel like that should be another niche of yours for just people trying to build confidence. Period. Especially through this pandemic, where we've all been distant from people and want to build confidence just to be in front of people. I mean, we're talking walking. I couldn't do what you guys do down a runway. I really couldn't. Not gracefully.
No, because I've seen your runway walk, Jason.
My runway walk is my everyday walk,
it's
which
horrible.
There's a little limp and there's no arm movement.
No, when you try to put a little bit of extra sauce on your walk, Jason, it's like, oh my gosh,
I'm
stop.
sexy, right? Beautiful,
no.
Actually, beautiful, beautiful people episode. But no, but But I feel like this is a thing that people need to do more, that are trying to build confidence, whether they have to give speeches at the end of a stage. You need to know how to walk out there and build your confidence through your walk, right? That's what you're teaching these young girls, probably some guys as well.
When you walk into a job interview, you have to have confidence. If you don't have confidence, the interviewer already knows this is probably not a candidate that I would want to hire for my job. When you're walking into a room and you're slouching, your posture's horrible. If you're like a little bit glum, people see that. They don't want to know you. They don't want to be. They see a not so confident, miserable, maybe an unhappy person.
No.
If you have an individual who is walking tall, shoulders back, neck high, with the energy like fuck the world, I have entered the place, guys, I'm here. Then it's like, okay, okay, sis.
No, I think this is a real thing. I think this is something to really hit on with people listening. You
get much more respect when you have confidence, and confidence is not something that you can really pretend to have.
Yeah.
People try to pretend, and some people, they are successful, but it's something that you have to emote. It's something that you have to have from the inside out. You can't you can't fake a confidence.
No,
really.
I mean, I think everyone instantly sees the confidence that someone's walking towards them has immediately.
Yeah.
It's just in the back of your mind, like, well.
It doesn't matter where I am. I'm always on a runway. My head is always up. Most of the time I have glasses on, and I'm just like, I'm here. Sometimes in model world, I'm probably most of the time the littlest person in the room. But
so you got to walk tall. Is it
absolutely.
Is that what a saying would be? Mm-hmm. Walk tall. You got to walk tall.
In my mind, Jason, I'm 6'4". In my mind, I'm 6'4".
Okay, yeah, I get that. I mean,
people have to feel that 6'4" energy.
Yeah, as a personal trainer, I tell people you have to walk like the body that you want, and that insecurity that people are trying to get to, the weight loss that they're having and stuff. Once you build that confidence, it really is mind then the body.
Yeah.
But once they have that confidence that they're getting there, it's already there, because they've already fixed their head, and the body changes itself.
Your thoughts become things. What you think about is what you project, is what you emote, is what you become. So if you have that if you repeat confident mantras in your mind, you're going to have a confidence about yourself that nobody can take away from you, because you've programmed yourself and or reprogrammed yourself to have that about you.
And that's all what it's about. Amen to that. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's why you're on the show.
You want that.
That's it. That's how we're going to end the show. Okay, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it. Before we go, give them a shout out, all your social media contents, where they can find you. You
can find me at the Kaye Cox Way. It's spelled THEKAYECOXWAY on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok, whatever social media platform there is, you can find the Kaye Cox Way there.
Yep. Amen. Thanks, girl. Appreciate you being on. So
I love that I hate you.
Yeah.
And I hate that I love you.
It's a love-hate relationship with everyone I know. Thank you. All right, girl. Peace, people.